Welcome to the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club, the greatest Rotary club in the... And Frank, where are you at? Okay, you have the invitation.
So today I wanted to start the invocation off with talking a little bit about Veterans Day this week and a little history on how it started. November 11th, 1921, when an unknown soldier killed during World War I was buried in Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C. Exactly 1 year earlier, both France and Great Britain created similar memorials for a soldier of their own. Then known as Armistice Day, November 11th was chosen as a day of memorial because it marked the end of fighting in World War I on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. Armistice Day was officially named in the US through a congressional resolution in 1926. Another resolution 12 years later made it a national holiday. The name was later changed to Veterans Day in 1954 when President Dwight D. Eisenhower, himself a five-star general during World War II, signed a proclamation to change the name to Veterans Day. The new name was more fitting and inclusive of all the brave soldiers who fought for our country in the battle since World War I. And I wanted to end with a couple quotes. One from General George S. Patton Jr. says, "It is foolish and wrong to mourn the men who died. Rather, we should thank God that such men actually lived." And the last one by President George Washington: "The willingness with which our young people are likely to serve in any war, no matter how justified, shall be directly proportional to how they perceive the veterans of earlier wars were treated and appreciated by their nation." And with that, a reminder, this afternoon, they're going to do a ribbon cutting for the Veterans Park out here on Helmick Road at 3 p.m. And a quick moment of silence, please. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Frank. And the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the four-way test: is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And Mr. Heisler. Yes, I am.
On? Now I'm on. Asked Bill McCann to help me pick out a song, and he picked the Battle Hymn of the Republic, number 15, the first number 15 on your song sheet. There are two 15s, but we'll do the first one. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out our vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He has loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. That's good. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Daryl. Do we have any guests today? Besides our student of the month, do we have any guests today? I know we have Niall back there. Niall, welcome back. How's John doing on the chainsaw carving? He's getting good. Okay, good to hear. Okay.
And I brought my wife again today. She
awesome.
Wanted to see Otto get his award, so we're here.
That's great.
All right. Any others?
Guests? How about visiting Rotarians? Do we have any visiting Rotarians today? Carl?
Oh, we got Tim here.
Well, when you see what the cat dragged, I mean, my brother's here today. This is Tim Garrison, and he's here with Dwayne Clark, and they're from the Anacortes Club, and they have a pretty darn exciting program to show, not a program, but a mini program to show us a little later. So welcome, Tim and Dwayne.
Very good. right, anybody else? Okay, it's good to see everybody. Make sure I get my glasses on so I can see you today better. Some club business. First, Daryl's going to do a little bit about the veterans here today, but congratulate all the veterans and thank you for your service today. It's just been an honor to know you and be in your presence. December meetings, we talked about, had a board meeting on Tuesday night. So December meetings, the first 3 meetings, Thursdays, will be the high school, have the choir, the orchestra, and the band coming. And then the 22nd, we will, that's just before Christmas, we're gonna pass on the 22nd, not have a meeting. And then the last Thursday, but there's 5 Thursdays in December, we'll have a meeting that last Thursday. I think it's the 30th, if I remember right. 29th, okay. At the board meeting, we talked a little bit about dues and a possible dues increase. So we're surveying, I sent a little email out last night. I've done a little bit of a survey of the other Skagit clubs. They're significant more than we have in their dues, but they have some other activities and food that's attached to it. So I'm asking them to give me all of their information about their dues, how much, and what that entails, so that we can come back to the club a little bit later and see if we want to entertain a possible dues increase. We have a budget in our club of about $36,000, and we're struggling with that with our dues and with our weekly meetings. So maybe a slight increase. Is Steve here? Steve Huggins? I missed him. Okay. So we talked a little bit about that, and I'll bring some information back at a later date to talk a little bit more about what that means. Christmas party, December 10th here, starts at 6 o'clock. Anybody on the committee want to talk, or is that good enough? Okay. Becky's gone. Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna do it. You'll get emails periodically from Daryl and such. We'll get some cards. We'll just print them out, put them on the table to take home. Magnum key refrigerator or do something with them. So there'll be some hard copy things. We're not gonna mail anything out. We're gonna save that $100 for cards.
So word of mouth, I'll send some emails out again. We'll keep announcing that December 10th here. District Governor, just again, January 26th, Raj will be here. Anacortes Centennial Celebration, February 23rd. I think Dwayne might say a few things about that when he has the opportunity. That's all I have for club business. Is there anything from the floor in regard to club business you want to bring to our attention? Very good. I think we have a raffle. Daryl, Sue.
We have a raffle.
First raffle, number 24. Yeah, there you go, Nick.
He's the luckiest guy I know.
Somebody needs to
Yeah.
keep track and see who wins every week and see at the end of the year how many people are double and triple doing.
Look at the smile on his face today. The market's up about 1,000 points, so a little smile over there.
And you didn't buy 3 tickets then, Nick? How come? Yeah. Next number, 53. Taking the beer. And the last number, 48. Very.
Wayne was talking to me about his little hunting trip.
We're gonna do one more.
To Montana. Got a 5-point buck out of there.
$15 cash.
Nice.
Thank you. And the last number, 63.
Mr. Vin.
Did you throw it in or something? You guys? we go.
You can give it to Dick after.
You're done with it?
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, Sergeant at Arms.
Sergeant at Arms. All right. So if you have a birthday this month and you were not here last week, it's a $2. Let's see, who should we have pick up? Nick, why don't you stand up, pay $2 for the recognition, and then collect money for me. And John, why don't you be the other person that does it as well? Pay $2 and you guys can help me. Now, if you have a birthday in the month of November and you were not here last week, that's $2. If you have an anniversary in the month of November and you were not here last week, it's $3. So we'll get those out of the way first. For those of you who are not wearing your badge, that's $2. We'll just go $1 if you're not wearing your badge. If you didn't sign in, let's see, didn't sign in, Travis Heisman, David Bricka. Is David here?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
here.
Who else is on here? Bill McCann didn't sign in. Can you believe that? Oh, and Carrie Carlton didn't sign in. That's $2 for each of you
Does she
that
have her
didn't sign
badge
in.
on?
All right, that's great. Let's see. Rick Teserick, since your grandson is being honored today, it's a $5 fine. Nick, because
Welcome
you
back,
won
Rick.
this week and you haven't been here for what, 2 months? That's a $10 fine. We're trying to honor, as you remember, Phil Mihalik just loved to be the Sergeant at Arms, and he always would teach us what it was to be the Sergeant at Arms. And it's been a little over a year since Phil passed away, so I'm honoring his legacy here today. Let's see, who else? And one of the things that he used to do is he allowed other people to find, he allowed our members to find other people. So since we've got a person that's just newly retired, who would you like to find?
Let's go for, let's find the mayor for letting me escape her clutches.
How much you want to find her?
Just a couple of bucks.
Couple of bucks. There you go. The other thing Phil used to do is he'd say, get your wallet out, and he'd look through it and he'd say, oh, you can afford $5. Let's see, what else?
If you weren't a veteran, you probably should.
I'm going to do that. Yep. Yeah. Since tomorrow is Veterans Day, let's have all of our veterans stand up, please. Let's give them a round of applause. All of us that are sitting down, we're going to each pay $2. All the non-veterans, the people who did not stand, we're going to pay $2 each. And then we're going to go to happy dollars. I'm going to start off with 20 happy dollars. John, here you go. I'm going to happy for the students of the month. Both Ryan and Shauna. Well, actually, Ryan graduated before I got here. Shauna was here when I came as an assistant principal at the high school. Now their son is a senior and is the student of the month. And for Kim and her daughter, Kim has been an employee of the district, had been for many different positions, para, bus driver, state safety person. So I'm happy for you guys. Congratulations. Other happy dollars. Nope. Nobody
Rick.
else is happy?
Rick is.
Rick is. Okay, we'll get Stephen first.
I got some happy dollars. My wife is representing Sedro Woolley School District in Utah, presenting something, not exactly sure. But my children and I have been home alone, and she comes home on Friday, so I'll be happy.
All right, congratulations. Didn't find you enough, huh?
No, I have $10 left. So I had $10. It's just happy to be back here, and we've had a few bumpy roads or bumps along the way, but we're thinking we're getting everything worked out.
Great.
Welcome back, Rick.
And Otto. Okay.
All right, I got a happy tenor. First of all, happy to be back to my old club. Yeah, it's been about 20 years since I was among you guys. And you know what really makes me happy is at least half of the people in this room are still members from that time. So that's very cool. And this is the greatest Rotary Club in the universe. Okay, well, that makes me happy, but maybe a little happier is that now Anacortes Rotary Club, you may not know this, is the pinnacle of Rotary clubs, and there can only be one pinnacle, and it's us. Just letting you guys know that. Two more happy things. First of all, I miss the fact that you guys have the pause in the pledge correct. Not all clubs have that. I'm not here to tell you. I also miss the fact that we don't do songs and you do. I really miss that. So anyway, great to be here.
Thanks, Tim.
Great, thanks.
Gerald, can I do an IOU on Happy Bucks?
I'll cover you, Jerry. I'll cover you.
Okay, you take it. I'm out of cash because you kept finding me. I have a happy 21 for our students of the month, Grace and Otto. So what a pleasure to be with you and see you grow and mature at Sedro Woolley High School. And then we have girls state swimming tomorrow. We have boys football against Tumwater. We have our volleyball on Saturday, and our head volleyball coach is right here, Miss Tezerick. And so I'm just really excited for where our athletes are going. And then teen court is going to be next Wednesday, our very first teen court at Skagit Superior Courts, and Eric Johnson is part of that as well. So just grateful. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Shauna, is that, as far as I can remember, this is probably as far as our volleyball team. Had the volleyball team make it to state not that long ago, or? That was the first time in like many years. Yeah, so team is doing well again. Going right here.
Thank you. A couple of happy bucks. Well, 10, but for 2 items. The first thing is I have never, ever been in the presence of the best Rotary Club in the, see, that's got such a nice ring to it.
The best Rotary Club in the pinnacle.
Yeah, see? You know where the pinnacle term came from in Anacortes? Tim Garrison, right? So I know, exactly. The other thing I wanted to mention was being here today is kind of like being coming home in one way. In 1971, my wife and I, newly married, moved into a house on Chester Avenue. You know where that is? It's just off of Ball Street, just about 5 blocks from here. I hadn't been there since we moved away from that place in like 74, 75. And I just drove by it on my way here. And it was a delightful thing to do. I feel like I'm on home turf. So thank you.
Yeah.
Just a few happy bucks. I wanted to congratulate the students, and also it's great to see Grace because she was one of my early pages when I was first in the legislature, and to see her as senior now is just amazing. Great.
So as many of you probably know, Brock and I are going through this law clerkship. And as of yesterday, we started on year 3. So I'm officially halfway through. And so I feel like it's time to get out the paint swatches and measuring tape because I'm going to kick him out of his office here pretty soon. So pretty excited about that.
Good job, Barry.
Congratulations, Eric.
I just put a 20 in, got two quick comments. One, whoever's in charge in the school district that has that parade, that's fantastic. The parade that they just had, everyone in my office came out. The mayor was in the fire truck. The kids were all, that is really fun, really cool. And I'm sure glad they did that, whoever's in charge of that. So that's my first one. And the second one is Mike and I drove back from Montana on our hunting trip. We didn't shoot anything, but we had a good time. 15 hours with Mike in a truck in a blizzard. But luckily, his friend Greg Poley was there. And those two are so funny that we didn't listen to a podcast. We didn't listen to the radio. We didn't listen to anything. All we did, I just listened to those two. And I hurt so bad because I was laughing for like 12 hours in a truck in a blizzard. So anyway, I'm glad to be back, but it was a lot of fun getting back there with Mike, and getting back home. I don't know where he is. So thank you.
All right. Any others?
Daryl, I have a happy 10 at 3 o'clock today. There's been a lot of work that's been going on over at the Veterans Park at Northern State. So, and I think is it a ribbon cutting or is it some sort of a ribbon cutting at 3 o'clock today? So a happy 10 for that. I know that's been one of our members have been working that project too. But I think it's just one of those great celebrations that we need to support. Noon to 2 over there at the Northern State. Okay, perfect. Okay. So I have. All right, Carrie, let's bring you up. We have a jam-packed program today. So we'll bring the students of the month up. We'll listen to Tim and Dwayne about their Anacortes project, Cap Sani, right after that. And then we'll bring the Honorable Mayor up. Carrie.
It is my pleasure to announce our students for the month. I want to start with Grace Devaney. Grace Devaney is the daughter of James Carson and Kimberly Devaney Carson of Sedro Woolley. Grace maintains an excellent GPA and is actively involved at our high school. She's been a member of the girls soccer team for 2 years, has taken varsity honors classes, a variety of honors classes like Honors English 10, 11, and previously a member of our Sedro Woolley High School band. She is currently a part-time student at Northwest Career Technical Academy for Culinary Arts, and Grace was selected for our 2022-23 Homecoming Royalty Court. Outside of school, Grace enjoys hanging out with her family and friends, photography, cooking, and spending time at the ocean. Grace also is very passionate about emergency preparedness. She was able to take a test and obtain her emergency response team member certification. When she was just 14 years old, she paged for the Washington State Senate for Keith Wagner. Grace is currently the manager of Sedro Woolley Domino's. At this time, I'd love to have Grace come forward, share with you who's here with her today and where she plans to go after graduation.
I'm Grace. I'm here with my lovely mom, Kim. And after high school, I plan to go to Bellingham Technical Institute for Culinary Arts and hopefully one day own my own restaurant.
Grace, are you going to open that restaurant in Sedro Woolley?
Maybe.
Yes. And become a member of Rotary?
Yes.
The greatest club in the, yeah. I'm very, very proud of Grace. It's been just a pleasure to see her grow up as a freshman all the way to senior year. And it's also been really fun for me because I get an opportunity to work with Kim at many of our events and to see her and that partnership as a mom. Thank you. The next person I get to introduce is Otto Teserick. And before I start with celebrating Otto, I want to share a story about Ryan Teserick. So Ryan, he was at Sedro Woolley High School teaching science. And then he somehow like drifted over to this blue and gold area, which I dare not name on the, right? And then I had the honor when he interviewed for an open position to hire him back to Sedro Woolley High School. And it was the best hire in a really long time. So also, Ryan was at our Cub preschool. So he was in the Cub preschool and he's now a teacher at the high school. Just a really cool story. Yeah. And then, of course, we have Rick Tesrick, a Rotary member, and we're just really honored to celebrate your grandson here with Sherry, who I got the opportunity working at Sedro Woolley High School to be supported by Sherry Tesrick, who was with us in our front office for, was it over 30 years, Sherry? And Sherry took good care of us. And so just what a pleasure it is. And then of course we have Shauna Tesrick also working in the district, an amazing teacher, amazing coach. And so it is not without said why we have Grace and Otto here because of the amazing parents. Dave.
His great-grandfather, George Miller, was a longtime counselor at Sedro Woolley High School, and I have very, very special memories of George working closely with my dad.
Wow.
So, that legacy, the Miller Tesrick family.
What a legacy. So the next part though is all about you, Otto. Because we know where you're paving the way. So thank you. You can't let us down now. Otto Tesrick is the son of Ryan and Shauna Tesrick of Sedro Woolley. Otto maintains a 3.92 GPA and is actively involved at our high school. He is a member of the National Honor Society and has taken many AP courses like AP Lit, AP Calculus, AP US History, AP Chemistry. Otto is a member of our wrestling team, lettering all 4 years, a member of our tennis team, lettering 2 years, member of our baseball team, lettering 2 years, and a member of our cross-country team, also lettering 2 years. Outside of school, Otto enjoys spending time with family and friends, experimenting with woodworking tools and building fun things, editing photos and videos. Otto has previously worked odd jobs like painting houses, landscaping tasks, and currently holds a position at Les Schwab. At this time, I'd like to have Otto share who's with him here today and also where he is going to attend after graduation.
I'm Otto. I'm here with my parents, Ryan and Shauna, and my grandparents, Rick and Sherry. And I plan on going to Central Washington University and either studying computer science, engineering, or some sort of construction.
Thank you so much.
Let's go Wildcats, CWU. Okay, Carl, would you like to introduce Tim and Dwayne?
I'll make it really sweet and short. So I'm happy to see my brother here. It was a surprise, but Tim, come on up and share with us this project that I know very little about, but I know you have something to do with what's holding it up off the ground. All right, actually, Dwayne is going to lead this charge. My piece is a small piece, so I'm going to turn the mic over to Dwayne to get it going, and then just let me know when I need to do my part. You want me to do first? Okay. All right, so as you know, because you just had your centennial, Anacortes Club is having our centennial celebration. It's coming up in February or so. Anyway, as part of our 100-year celebration, we decided about 5 years ago to do a legacy project that was worthy of 100 years of giving in Anacortes. And what we came up with was, has anybody been to the top of Cap Santa, which is the big knob, yes, that where you can look out over the city? It's a beautiful view spot right there. Our legacy project is going to be to build a viewing platform up there that looks north over the water, Hat Island, and Mount Baker. There's a gorgeous view right there. And so this is what we're going to build. We have actually have 3 alternatives on the table right now. One that kind of hangs out over the mountain like this right here, and then a couple more that don't hang out, that are more like a national park sort of theme built into the hillside right by the cul-de-sac. This is one version of that. This is the other version of that. This is the plan view of that one that is going to have a eagle's nest platform out about 30 feet up over the rocks. And we're in the process of deciding which one we're going to actually do. We've got to get city input.
And there's, of course, a process involved in that. But this is the project, and we're pretty darn excited to get building on it. I'll be involved in the engineering of it. And there's an architect in the Morning Club in Anacortes who has drawn this, and he and I are working together on that. So that's the nutshell version of this little piece of our centennial. And now Dwayne can tell you the other part.
Thank you, Tim. First, I want to say, Grace and Otto, way to go. Congratulations. I also want to say, veterans, way to go. Thank you. My father was a veteran from World War II in the Pacific. I know that was important. It's important for all of us. We benefit from what our veterans have done. So, as Tim mentioned, this has been our primary focus, this project that we've been working on, and we've been working on it for several years. There's another component, and that is the celebration dinner that we want to have. On February 23, 1923, 250 guests gathered in Anacortes to welcome 17 new charter members to the Anacortes Club. And on February 23, 2023, we want to celebrate that 100 years. So here's a couple of things that relate to the events and the dinner that we're leading up to. This is just our logo and different things that we're involved in leading up to that last item there is that dinner. But I wanted to show you this. There's an article in the Anacortes American in the edition of March 1, 1923, 1 week after, a week and a half after this inaugural dinner. Those names on the left are the names of the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club members who attended the Anacortes Rotary dinner. And on the right is the menu for that day. And you'll see that somebody got real creative with some of the names of the guests, including Paul Rodius. Buttered golden wax beans, Paul Rodius Select. So he was the president at the time of our chartering. I don't know who was the president of Sedro Woolley Club. I don't know who their first president was. So anyway, those are the names. There were 34 Sedro Woolley Rotarians who attended that event. The amazing thing too about newspapers in the 20s, the name of every attendee, all 250 attendees were printed in this article and where they were from and whether or not they were Rotarians or whatever they came for. So it's a stunning article to read. Maybe I can get a copy of it to you to read the entire article. I'm going to skip past that. I'm going to get right to this. This is the dinner that we're kind of focused on talking about today. This celebration, we expect to have close to 300 attendees, and the inauguration dinner, of course. Howard Behar was former CEO of Starbucks. The other Howard, as he's called, as he's known, will be our keynote speaker. We're just really excited about that. He does this unique style of presentation. It's not just a talk or a speech, it's an interview. And we're looking forward to that part of the adventure. And we want to recognize our past presidents, long-serving members, and also we want to have representatives from every Rotary Club that was there in 1923 to be there in 2023. So I have a letter here that I'm going to give to your president, Phil, that spells out how we want to work that, and that we want to invite 10 members or 10 individuals from this club to be part of that. This kind of spells that out. So if I could, I'll give this to you. I have one more thing for you. Come on back. That's a centennial mug, and that's the holder. Thank you.
Says Anacortes Rotary Centennial and 12/22/22 to 23/23. Okay, looking forward to February 23rd. Okay, boy, we're packed today. So it's my pleasure to introduce the Honorable Mayor of Sedro Woolley, Julia Johnson.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, everybody, for allowing me to have this opportunity to do this. Thank you, Anacortes Rotary. What a great project. That's absolutely wonderful, and I wish you great success in that. I look forward to seeing it. I have actually been up on that hill. So, and also to the students. It's just really great to have you here. So I'm going to begin just saying a few things first about what we've actually been through the last couple of years. You know, this is kind of a speaker's dream when you know you only have a few minutes to really speak. So you cram it all in and you leave all the other stuff out. But this is really important. I do want to share this. And that has to do with the last 2 years of what we have been through. And I want to thank my staff and the city of Sedro Woolley for really going through this with a lot of courage and determination and hanging in there together. I think that's one thing that the city has actually done well. All of us as citizens have done well. And I don't know about you, but it felt like it was 10 years in the whole 2-year process. It just took forever to get through, but here we are. So this time last year, we actually were looking at both snow and an epic flood, and also we had a major sewer break. That all happened within a couple of weeks of each other. And I just want to state that it is our staff that was absolutely amazing and made that all happen. It's important that our toilets flush, and it's also important that we have streets that we can drive on, you know, with the snow on it. So just a year ago today, I too want to celebrate the veterans. My husband is a veteran. My husband was a veteran. So I want to thank you all for serving. It's why we're standing here. It's why we're sitting here. It's the freedom that you actually have provided. So thank you. And yes, 3 o'clock today, I hope we'll see you out there at Veterans Park for the ribbon cutting. So I want to talk about the different partnerships that we have. The first one that we have is actually with the Port of Skagit. And with the Port of Skagit, they are putting together, well, first off, they received grants where they've been able to actually refurbish some of the buildings that are out there. I don't know how many of you attended the August celebration that they had, where it was a history month. People actually told their stories about who had worked at the hospital, people who knew people who worked at the hospital. It was a very amazing event. And the Port is working very hard to try to make this jam really shine. They're talking about bringing in the Innovation Center, which if you're not familiar with that, that allows people who are inventors to come and explore their project, their idea, and see if they can manifest that and make that happen. They've also been working with different industries. Sedron was one of them. I don't know if that's going to move forward or not, but Sedron was one of them, and they're looking to actually make this a place where there's cutting edge technology and also manufacturing that actually happens here. So very exciting, a wonderful place to go up on. The one thing that they did do for us as a city is give us right in front of the opening to the Swift Center, formerly the Northern State, is the acreage there to build a park. And they also, as good partners, they also funded part of that. They gave us money to build the parking lot and also to do some of the infrastructure. This also was an opportunity for me to say that there's a lot of partners that are involved in this. The Rotary's involved in this, other service groups are involved in this, and there's also individuals within the community who have given money for this. Last year, both Nathan Salsine and I had the opportunity to present an RCO presentation, and we were awarded $500,000 through the RCO, so we're going to put it towards that. And also Representative Larson came out to see the project, was very impressed with it, and he submitted our name before the committee back in Washington, D.C., and we did receive a $500,000 from that as well. So some really good funding that's going towards this park. We hope to have phase 2 done by 2023. We have found that the inflation has really been eating up our funding, as I'm sure some of you who have businesses are also experiencing. But we hope to have that done and then hopefully open it maybe at the end, maybe fall of 2023. But I think we're really shooting for 2024. And I have to say one thing that I'm just going to share this. So when they gave us the property in staff meeting, our city administrator at the time turned to me and said, you have the opportunity to name the park. And so I was the one who actually was able to give it the name Olmsted Park in honor of the Olmsted brothers who actually developed Northern State. So I thought that that was really befitting. And a lot of the design that we have going on in that park will actually emulate the tile roofs and some of the Spanish style that you see there at Swift Center. Memorial Park, as you can see out here, it's just a sad park, isn't it? And it's something that we've been talking about remodeling, restoring for years. We've actually gone for a couple RCO grants, have not been successful. We've gone to the legislature, we have not been successful. So what we have decided to do is take some of our REAP money, and we're also taking some of our American Rescue Fund money, which we have received, and we're going to be able to complete this. And this will be done by end of 2023. And I think it'll be quite a nice park. We are going to have a spray park like had been kind of anticipated, but we greatly reduced it. We're going to move the restrooms so they're not in the way, kind of an eyesore. We're going to put the, I don't know if you can, I don't know where the laser's at. We're going to put the playground up in here. And then we are leaving the grass out here. We're going to redo it, going to take out some of the sidewalks and leave that so that people can actually have picnics or play games out there, soccer or whatever. So it's going to be a more comfortable park, but I think it'll be beautiful once we have it all said and done. So looking forward to seeing that by the end of summer of next year. So just wanting to talk a little bit about some of our partnerships. The YMCA is one of them, and you heard their program last week or 2 weeks ago when they were here. They still have not opened that. They are still in the process of hiring and training, but they do have a good program that they're going to put in, and I look forward to that happening. I think I'll just pass on that. The other thing that we're working on is we're trying to connect trails. So I have met a couple of times with both the Mount Vernon Parks and Rec along with PUD and Skagit Trail Builders. Oh my goodness, let's see. We're going to bring in DNR, and we're also going to bring in WSDOT. So what we're hoping to do is to build some sort of a bridge or some way that we can connect both the north side and the south side of the Skagit, so we can bring our Skagit Trail together with their Centennial Trail. It's a big vision. It's a big goal. It's going to take years for this to happen, but Skagit Trail Builders is nearly completed with their project up at the Swift Center. And so they're already looking ahead, and they've already been meeting with DNR. You may wonder why we brought PUD in. So when meeting with PUD, they were telling me that they are going to be doing an inspection and examining exactly how they're going to bring the water across the Skagit River. Some of you may know that they have pipes that do come across. They may have to redo those or even rebuild. And if that's the case, we're talking about the possibility of putting some sort of a suspension bridge across that, like Wenatchee has done and others, so that it can connect those parks. So it's a great vision. It's partnerships. It's just wonderful what we have going on here in the Skagit Valley. I'm also a part of a group called North Star. North Star is a combination of all the mayors of Skagit County, as well as the major mayors, I should say. So it's Sedro Woolley, Burlington, Mount Vernon, and Anacortes, plus the commissioners, plus the health department. And what we are doing is bringing together all the different agencies that are doing mental health work. They're working in homelessness, building homes. They're doing work in recovery. We're wanting to bring them all under an umbrella so that we have a good way of utilizing them and saving money as we do that. So the North Star Project is something you're going to hear more about. You probably did read about it in the paper, but we're working hard to do that. The company that came up from California to help us do this said that they have worked with different communities across the United States. We're the only community they've ever worked with the mayors and the commissioners, where all the agencies are so willing to come together, combine their funds, being willing to go out for grants and make this happen. It's really a wonderful project. Of course, Rotary is another one of our partners. The beauty that we have here within the community center, 3 phases, but we got it done, the kitchen, the bathrooms, the interior here, and also the patio out there, all gorgeous. And that was done in combination with partnership with the city of Sedro Woolley. And I think that we see you as being very valuable. You are actually bringing to the city of Sedro Woolley a better way of living. You're enhancing the life that we have here, the lifestyle that we have here in Sedro Woolley. So on behalf of the city, I want to extend my thanks. But I also want to mention that we do have other partners that we work with, and I thought that I would mention a few of them. One of them is the school district. The school district is a wonderful partner. We have children who come to City Hall to do tours. Our chief, Dan McElraith, and myself are involved in the Sedro Woolley Rise program. We meet with them once a month, the school district once a month, and we talk about different things regarding safety, better transportation, how can we enhance that, and any other issues that may be present at the time. But the school is actually one of them. We also have a partnership with Helping Hands Food Bank. The property that they have there is property purchased by the city of Sedro Woolley, and they are paying us back for that. They eventually will have that. We work with EDASC, the library. As you probably know, the library, we own that building, but they run the district library runs that program. And the senior center, again, we own the building, but the county runs that program. And then, of course, the chamber, Lago Rodeo, we work with them as far as funding, providing protection and assistance when they have their events, and we're very happy to do that. So I just wanted to mention those partnerships because I think they're really important. They get overlooked, and those groups are part of why we have such a great community here. So I wanted to call them out, and I wanted to honor them. So along the lines of projects with Rotary is Hammer Heritage. I wanted to give you an update on this. You may have read in the paper that they were talking about having to have to dismantle and actually do some abatement because of the Chevron station that was there many, many years ago and the toxins that had filtered down into the ground. The concern was that these fumes were actually drifting towards the river, so underneath Ferry Street and perhaps even moving under some of the buildings. But after 3 years of them coming out and doing different kinds of testing, you probably saw the polls that they had in the park from time to time, testing where those readings were at, they discovered that it's fairly safe. So they're not going to have to do that. It's basically taking care of itself. Nature is actually taking care of itself. So this is good news. We won't have that park torn apart like we had thought we were going to, and we can continue to enjoy it. One of the things that we have completed and are very excited about is our public works building. So we are bringing both solid waste and the streets parks under one building. This is the building you see here. And I'm going to show you some of the interior. This is something that we've never had, but has been a dream. So you see the bays, that's where our mechanic can actually work on our vehicles rather than laying on the ground outside doing the repair work. We actually have a place where we can do that and bring our other city vehicles to be repaired. You can see the interior that they have going on here. And this will be both solid waste and the park, streets, and rec. This is their building. And this council has been very supportive of that, which I'm very grateful for. This is also our new wastewater treatment plant building, which is just right across the parking lot of the picture that you just saw. And this is the interior of the wastewater treatment plant. We're going to be moving into that soon. We're going to one of the biggest reasons that we had to build a new wastewater treatment plant, number one, we're growing. We needed more space so that we could have our employees have space to work and to bring the equipment in. But number two, the building that we have has a digester underneath it. And we needed to put that digester into work. We need it to work. We need to bring it into business. What am I trying to say here? We need to get that thing going. And I'll tell you why. Over the years, we have had an increase in both the rain and the wind here in our area. And it is in the digesters, what they do is they actually take all it's sifting out everything that it needs to sift out, and it creates a smell. It creates fumes and a smell. And the building that we had, we couldn't use that digester because it was just not healthy for those people who were in that building to be breathing that air. So we're going to be able to put that back into place, and that's going to be a tremendous help getting us through the next 4 or 5 years, because we are not planning on building a new sewer treatment plant, which, by the way, this is about 21, 22 years old. It's quite old. We're not planning on building another one until probably 2027. So if you have a chance to go down and take a look at the buildings, they're absolutely gorgeous. Please do. Okay, I'm moving through this quickly. New chiefs in town. We have some new chiefs in town, but we miss our other chiefs. We miss both Klinger and Tucker, who's ducking. They actually laid a wonderful foundation for our chiefs, our new chiefs, to step in and take over. Chief Wagner on the, I guess it would be my left, your right, and then Chief McElraith. And they are having to take on a daunting task because of the different laws. And well, first, the different laws have changed. The laws have changed, which have made it difficult to do policing. And I know some of you have read about that. But our staff and Chief McElraith and his staff have taken that on, and we're coming up with some great solutions. And Chief Tucker was actually very instrumental in getting a lot of that going. So thank you. Thank you, Lynn, for working on that. And then for Chief Wagner, it has been a situation where COVID has really hit us hard. So when COVID hit, there were people who actually did move on. Some people did not want to take the vaccination. Also, the Snohomish County Fire District has gone, they are all under one umbrella. So they do not have individual city or district firehouses. I'm using that wrong, I know that, Frank. But they're all under one roof, and they're able to combine that tax dollar and pay much better than those of us who actually live in the Skagit County. So we're losing some of our some of our really good fire people to Snohomish County. We're down a few people, but we're making ways towards getting rehired, getting people rehired, or getting people hired. Something else that I want to mention is that we do have as I mentioned before, the American Rescue Fund money, which we're also using for our parks. We also have used some of that for the fire department and for the police department. We've bought new radios, the training station doing hiring for the fire department, also the hydrants. We have a partnership with PUD. They're going to take over our fire hydrants. They will maintain them, but we first need to get them up to grade, up to where they need to be. So we have a partnership with them doing that. So, and they, I have to say, COVID was really tough on everybody, including the city. We had a lot of retirements that actually happened, but I will say that we have brought in some really fantastic people. It's amazing. It's amazing. One of the applicants that we put out for, which was for our payroll, when we put that out, we had 42 applicants, people who applied, and out of that, we were able to hire 2 people, one for the utilities billing and the other for the payroll. So Sedro Woolley is still a really wonderful place, great reputation where people want to work. And I have to say, I love it there. I have the honor of being the mayor and working with these people. And to me, it's probably one of the best places that I've ever worked. And then last, I just want to mention the council. They have really been working hard to educate themselves on how, because a lot of them are in their 30s, they're young, but they have tremendous ideas, and they have been working really hard to try to understand how a lot of the decisions that you come with when you're doing policies, how that all works. They ask great questions, they come in for meetings. They're just an extraordinary group. And last night they did pass the 1/10 of 1%, our 1%, sorry, our 1% tax. And we're very grateful for that. You know, it's really important. I just want to emphasize that the 1%, that doesn't even meet the needs. All that's doing is just helping support what we've got going on. We're not going to do new projects with that. It's not going to offer any of that, but it's going to help keep us afloat. So I'm very grateful to the council in their wisdom for asking a lot of questions, doing their research, and passing that for us last night. And really, it's for you, because it's the services that we offer you. You have come to expect that garbage and sewer and the parks and, you know, the streets, you expect all that to happen. And that's our job to make that happen. And so it was those kinds of conclusions that the council came to and determined to go ahead and make that pass. So one last thing before I go, I just want to say that it is an honor to serve you. I do want to let you know that I'm not just at City Hall, and you heard me talk about the North Star project, but I also wanted to let you know that I sit on the Skagit Transit Board. So the new route that we have going on here in Sedro Woolley, the circular route, that's working in conjunction with the city and with them. They're great partners regarding that, but I do sit on their board. Skagit 911, your emergency services, I sit on that board. I sat on EDAS board for a year, fascinating learning how that's all working across the county. I sit on the governance board for solid waste. I sit on both the Skagit Council of Governance Board for transportation and also the Board of Directors. And then every 4 years, I get to sit on the Opportunity Grant Board, which is actually 1/10 of 1% of money that comes back to the county. The cities are then allowed to submit their projects. And when you sit on the board, then you make the determination if they meet the criteria. And of course, we have a really good, Mark Freiberger is the one who does that for us. He's the one who submits those applications. And of course, we came home with $500,000 for the undercrossing that we're working on. So with that, I am going to close because I realize we're out of time.
Yeah, perfect. Mayor, thank you very much. We do have a parting gift for you to sign all those documents that you need to sign for the city. Thank you very much. And Tim and Dwayne, I think I'm going to give you a parting gift too for coming to present and inviting us to the centennial celebration. And I want to thank the veterans one more time. Let's please stand and thank the veterans one more time. That's awesome. Okay, Tim and Dwayne, thank you. Grace and Otto, congratulations, Student of the Month. Congratulations, families. Rick and Sherry, it's great to see you guys. Thanks for coming. And let's see, who else? Niall, thanks for coming. I know John's getting better at the chainsaw. I'm looking forward to that first, well, I think it was going to be Brother Mike's, yep, profile. And with that, I'll close the meeting for the best Rotary Club in the